Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So today we are in the middle of the spookiest time of the year, and very excited to have my friend Brittany Byrnes back on the channel. Last year we had her, we did an interview talking about when good ghouls go bad, and this year I thought it would be fun too. We're actually going to do a commentary on the film for you guys. So really excited to have you back on the show, Brittany. What we're going to do is we both have this thing synced up, at least the best that to our ability. And
Hopefully.
in a second. We will, if you guys want to. So, what we have it set up as is right now we have when good ghouls go bad, like the text for the DVD or like YouTube is on the screen. So, if you guys want to get that set up ready to go, and we will go ahead and start this thing in three, two, one.
All right, it's on. The iconic opening.
Yeah, jack o' lantern.
Yeah.
I love, yeah, Christopher Lloyd's little narration here. Well, I mean, he kind of like narrates throughout the whole. There you are.
Yay, that's me, woo! I felt so famous seeing that come up, I remember.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Oh, yeah, it was
Especially
awesome.
like just like the first time seeing your name like pop up on like any kind of show or film.
Yeah, and it's popping up with some pretty big names as well, it's pretty exciting to see.
Yeah. So this would definitely be like me like growing up because I love Halloween and just having the stuff all over the house.
You're like the one house that's got the most in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We're just setting the tone like so well here. I feel like this guy is just the best. He's got some of the best moments as well.
Oh yeah. Just like freaking I love the fact that he just goes up to the house and he just like starts taking down all the decorations.
Yeah, no
Like
hesitation.
no big deal. I mean, you're just going on to someone's. I mean, even though you're a police officer, we're just going on to someone's property and just tearing down a bunch of stuff.
Just pegs the jack-o'-lantern over the edge.
Now the interesting, so like it says like I remember like talking in the interview. It says like story by R.L. Stein. I don't think I've ever like found the like if this was based on like a book or anything. I don't think I've ever actually found like the book or if it was just like if he just like did like part of the script or something.
Yeah, it's I think it's more loose than that. I think really the writer and the writers of the film really are the ones that I would say have deserve the credit for the script really. I think it was like a partnership or something like that to have his name, but I think the story was not exactly. There is a book, but I think it came out afterwards. I think it's like a companion book.
Gotcha.
You
Okay.
have to find it. It's got a little like it's like a little paperback.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, like the
and it's
Goosebumps
got
stuff.
like I think it's got pictures from the film in it as well. Like it's the same front cover as the DVD, and so I think it's more like that, like a companion kind of, you know
Gotcha.
what I mean?
Okay.
Like
Yeah, I was
book.
just and there
Woo! Damn.
time you're in the film. Lord. I love his dad. I can't
Me
think of
too.
the
Yeah.
guy's name, but
Tom, he's one of my favorites as well because I feel like he's just on like at 100 at all times.
oh
You
yeah,
know, like he's
just like
just and he's just so great.
did
I
you
love that dragging off Danny when he's pretending to be dead. Wow. It really is. It's very like smooth. The commentary, the Christopher Lloyd's commentary over the top of everything that's happening. It just kind of like fits in really well.
I love how he's the elevator music is great too.
Yeah, yeah. And just be-
and she jumps on the phone and
Yeah.
her couple moments. The secretary, she's pretty funny in the film too.
Yeah, she steals the show, doesn't she? For how little time she's got, whenever she's on, she's just so great.
Yeah, she makes the most of it.
Yeah, she's great. Oh, Danny.
I love his outfit too, like his pants,
Yes.
the like flannel like pants. Like
He's wearing his pajama bottoms.
yeah, that's what I was saying. It almost looks like he's in like PJs and has his jacket on. Now, when did because that from like when we did like the interview, when did you guys was it like actually like cool when you guys filmed this, or was it like was it was
It
summer?
was. It was. My memory is that it was like summer, summer.
Okay, so it was probably pretty warm, like wearing like that jacket that you have on. 'Cause
Yeah.
that thing looks like pretty like looks fairly thick.
Yeah, it was a big jumper and then the jumper underneath, t-shirt underneath. We're trying to still make it look. And later in the film, I've got beanies and scarves and all of that stuff as well. But it was hot. Like it was Sydney, and it was hot.
Yeah, so you guys say it's always fairly pretty warm.
Honestly, even our winter is pretty warm. Like I wouldn't probably wear some of that stuff even in winter here. So it's like it just never gets that cold.
I love the house too, and you said that so that was like a big like set that they like built, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the outside and the inside weren't at the same place. So the inside was like on a lot in a studio. And we just used this outside for like those shots.
I also love the Ryan's like his friend.
I love this scene. I love Ryan. I didn't watch this film for so long, and coming back and looking at it, I was just actually so blown away by these guys, at their age, just how good they actually are.
Yeah,
And
I
especially he's my favorite character now. Like he's just so funny. He's just that perfect school bully.
oh yeah, no yeah, he definitely nailed that.
He nailed it. I think he and Danny are just like such a good combination. They balance each other so well, and they're just both such strong actors.
Yeah,
Great. All
I
of them together, I love.
I am always a sucker for like the urban legends, the tales, and like the small towns. So I love like this whole scene where they're talking about Curtis Danko and everything.
Like setting up the story.
Yeah,
It's where they bury somebody.
I also love Ryan's flat top like
Yeah.
haircut.
Yeah. The haircut. Him and his dad have the matching haircuts.
Curtis Danko kind of reminds me of like he feels like someone out of Tim Burton's like Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
I feel like he would like fit like perfectly
The
like
hair and the whole vibe. Yeah. He's got the emo thing going
oh, yeah.
on.
I love how he says like of like a world gone mad, and like the painting really wasn't something that was like, that like crazy.
We've still got a PG-13 painting. I love the flashback because I love all the like the mini versions of everyone. I think they
Yeah,
cast those so well too.
some of the like in those like sculptures, like those are like pretty damn good. Like I wouldn't be able to do that.
Mini kids, life-size sculptures. I will say, I feel like he could have just turned the light on. Like when they say nothing but moonlight and fireflies, like he could have just turned the classroom light on. I always think that.
Oh, is he just? I think I just like missed it. but I don't know if he was just wearing a Michael Myers. Is that a Michael Myers costume or a mask?
I don't know.
I don't know because it was like it looked like it was white. That'd be pretty cool if it was.
That would be cool. Same haircut.
I love that it was written in his own ashes.
You managed to do that. This is terrifying as a kid. This is like scary stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, as like a kid, you'd be like, yeah, no. That would be, I mean, like, when we talked on the interview, that would be so depressing. Like if I just, I'm such a big Halloween person and it's just such a big thing here in the United States that if I just didn't have another Halloween for however many years,
Yeah, imagine being in middle school and then Halloween just gets cancelled.
yeah, like,
Yeah. I love these kids.
I just love how like the whole myth was just, created that the town just like instantly believed, Ryan that,
One kid.
or I should
Yeah.
say dad, they just like believed him and they're like, oh my God, yep, we have to like lock this up and never have another Halloween.
Where were the adults? Nobody checked. Everybody just went with it and then stayed with it for 20 years.
Yeah, no questioning.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Oh.
I love too when he's like, they're chasing him through the graveyard and coming up here, but how he just slides right, like he's just like skinny, he just slides right through the grave,
Perfect.
the
It's like he's
gate.
had to do it once or twice before.
Like I don't care like how small or skinny you are, like just slide through a gate like that.
Yeah.
That would be pretty impossible. I always love this too, where he just like pops out.
This is the best. This has got to be the best introduction to Uncle Fred. Like this outfit, the whole thing is like the best way to meet this guy, you know?
Oh yeah. So the first time that you actually see him is just wearing this like old Viking
Yeah.
like costume. Yeah, and you just
Perfect.
get really get an idea of like what his character is all about.
Yeah. I love it. And then you get to walk through the house and you see all the decorations and all of his stuff and he's still in character the whole time as this Viking.
Yeah, and he just
So great.
has his different like characters kind of throughout the film too.
Yeah.
Don't I'll say that my cat's entered the room.
My dog's been pacing around until she gets chilled as well. She's seen this movie before. I think it's great seeing Uncle Fred like this as well, like the contrast between him and his son,
Oh
and
yeah,
having the son that's so stuffy and in the suit and trying to run the business that way. I think it's such a good contrast as well because we've met Danny's dad already.
yeah.
You know,
And as far as like Christopher Lloyd goes, because when people, I feel like, because I met him in person at a convention a few years back, and he was very and we like kind of talked about it. But he was like he was very quiet, kind of like reserved. But like you
Right.
see all of his movies and he's always playing these like quirky characters and he's kind of like out there for the most part. So is he more like working with him? Was he more kind of like typically like kind of on the quieter side, like reserved or
Yeah, I found him very chill. I don't know. I wonder if like he kind of saves his energy maybe for the performance
that could
side of it. But yeah, not what I get asked about him all the time because it's just not what people would expect. I feel like those types of actors that do the big, larger than life kind of, in the big comedy roles and things like that, people always expect them to be so hyper and, you know,
yeah.
oh, lovely, lovely guy, really, really great guy. But yeah, just not on 100% of the time like people always kind of expect. He was just very, very chill and can kind of turn it on when the cameras are rolling, kind of
That
thing.
makes sense. And that maybe that's why he likes to take on or likes to take on some of these like roles like back then because where he was so quiet and stuff, it was probably fun to play these
Yeah,
real kind of like outlandish characters.
yeah, that's true. It's always good doing something that's completely different, to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just so great. He's such a great guy. Very like kind guy as well. He's
Oh,
really, really
yeah, I can
nice.
see that.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I met him for briefly for a couple minutes, he was very very nice, down to earth. So I could totally see that.
That's great. That's what you want to hear as well. That's good.
Poor Danny.
Poor Danny.
I, I love that
Dad.
line. Violence never solves anything, Dan.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
that's yeah, it's one of the things that I like about this movie too. Like, sure it's a fun kids, Halloween movie, but the family dynamic, with the Walkers and you just see between like his father and the grandfather and I just think it kind of takes it to that like that next level where it's not just like your typical like family like kind of movie. You get to see that and you're like, wow, there's like a really interesting story here.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. There's a little bit more to it. Mayor Cherney is my guy. I love this guy. Roy, the actor that plays the mayor, is like he's kind of just like I would call him like an Aussie national treasure. Like he's in so many Aussie films and he's had some really iconic roles in like Australian
Oh,
film culture. He's just like such a cool guy as well. And he and I in this film, like, I don't even know if we were ever in a scene together, but if we were, it was like nothing.
very
And
briefly.
I would bump into him at different events, like years apart down the track, and he always knew exactly who I was, and
Oh, that's
would
cool.
remember me and ask how I was going, and was just like he's just a really, really nice, down to earth guy. I
That's
just remember bumping into him. Honestly, it would have been like 10 years after this film, and I knew exactly because I knew even at the time of filming, like, oh, that's Roy Billing, like he's cool.
yeah.
And I wasn't going to go and say hi to him, and he came straight up to me and remembered me straight away, and it's just really, really, really lovely guy.
Yeah, I mean that's always nice when like,
Yeah.
like you said, you didn't have like much time to work with him and he could still like, remember that, that time that you guys like
Hey,
did.
I would, if he didn't remember me, I would not be offended at all. You know what I mean? We didn't hardly have anything to do with each other, but he was genuinely interested and remembered me straight away. And just think I love that, especially when people who are, successful. And as I said, he's pretty well known here in Australia. Some of his roles are kind of, he's in a lot of like cult kind of Aussie films,
Oh, okay.
like The Dish and films like that are kind of big here in our
Yeah.
culture. Yeah.
That must have been, I mean, yeah, even like when you were first like you said, when you were first playing, it must have been really cool just to I mean, you got to work with like quite a few like, big people like on this film.
Yeah. Yeah, and really like that, the amount of names and well-known actors that are kind of in this film, there was no sense of that though when you're filming it. There was nobody kind of
egos.
Egos, yeah, it was nothing. We were all just making this really fun film and having a great time. And I think that the adults kind of had that attitude towards it as well. Everybody was just having a ball the whole time.
That's all. I mean, that's all. I
Why
love
wouldn't you?
like
The roles
his
all these
whole,
guys are doing. This is so much fun.
his whole presentation and
And Uncle Fred in the outfit.
yeah, yeah. This is like another like one of those scenes where it's just like you're watching it, and like for me, it's just like instantly where he starts talking about like all the different memories from like Halloween and fall past. It just like instantly gets you in that that fall Halloween spirit.
So nostalgic. Miss Benny's book.
I love that no one like questions Uncle Fred either.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a small town. Nobody's, who's this random old lady? Nobody looks twice.
I like that guy too.
I love
The,
that guy.
the
Don't
guy
say
with
it
the hat.
again. This is
It's
the
gonna
best.
be okay, honey.
Yeah. Spectacular.
It's like nope.
Poor
He
guy.
knows exactly what's going on.
Mm.
He's still like you could still tell like it's like him like with the voice.
Yeah. You're sitting there as a kid listening to this going, yeah,
Yeah, come on.
do it. Bring back Halloween. This sounds good. You're like rooting for this guy.
It is kind of like interesting in the beginning of the film that you know we don't find out about like the Curtis Danko thing till later, but um, well, I guess like right now actually, but like the fact that I mean I guess like Danny like did it, but like decorated the house and stuff like that, and he seemed like okay with that. Maybe it was just because it was only their house, and
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who decorated the outside?
I'm
Who did
assuming it was Danny. I'm because I don't think that.
the whole family?
Yeah, I feel like it was probably like Danny. Because I mean, like his dad, he doesn't seem to. He seems more focused on the
Yeah.
aspect of things.
Yeah, that's true. They're fine with it.
I love like the old like music too, just that doo doo. Now he has just a giant racetrack throughout like the whole entire house. It seems.
Honestly, Uncle Fred is goals.
You're gonna be like that when you get old.
Seriously, if this is like
Honestly,
retirement.
I, I mean, I'll probably be doing that as far as like the Halloween decorations and stuff like that goes. So that'll be me. I'll just be like, yeah, there's Pat, that old guy, who just decorates for Halloween every year.
Everyone will know it's you. Oh, that guy, yeah, loves Halloween. Just humor him. Let him put up his decorations. Oh.
But I mean, well, I guess that I'll say technically he could just write it as his dad, but I guess that's forging, and that's probably not very ethical.
God, if I was Danny though, I'd be going.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right,
Sure. I love that they have rakes.
yeah, yeah, I love that. I love how they literally have like, I mean, they have rakes, but like, yeah, fires and like pitchforks and stuff.
Reminds me of like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
We're going up, kill the beast. It's like that.
yeah.
Angry citizens.
Him and his in those damn pants. Ugh,
Yeah, still got him on. Take a walker.
take a walker. That would that would be so crazy to walk outside and just see
That would be
all these
awesome.
decorations all over the town. Now this I love that they think that they put this together. Like, how the heck
Oh yeah.
would even this family be able to like get up there?
Oh, I love this scene.
Now I mean, like, it definitely looks like there wasn't. Was there actually like any pumpkins in this area? Because like this definitely looks like for the most part was it like CGI? Yeah.
Yeah,
So was there like any pumpkins at all like in that?
pumpkins were added later. We had I can't remember if they were real. I feel like they must have been not real, but we had a couple. There was like a scaffolding behind for people to
Oh, okay.
like eye line for us to look up at. And
Yeah.
as the like the pile of pumpkins falls, there was some that were kind of being thrown. There was just like guys behind the camera chucking them out so that they were coming towards us.
Oh, okay. I mean,
But yeah, the actual pile
yeah, like
is
this part's definitely like, yeah, it's like CGI.
yeah. Remember Curtis Danko?
Now have, because I know it's not, you know, it fall and Halloween's not as popular like out there for you guys. I remember you saying, do you guys still do like pumpkin pie and stuff like that?
I've never had pumpkin pie.
You never had pumpkin pie?
No.
Wow.
Halloween. I love that line. Happy Halloween. Yeah, no, I've never had pumpkin pie. I'm. We don't do like all of the see like those like falling ones.
Yeah. They're-
You know, there was guys chucking some for us to run away from. Those ones.
okay.
It's just people throwing them.
Yeah, you can see that. Now it's funny because like here it almost looks, which I mean I guess they could have, but it almost looks like the pumpkin like decapitated Uncle Fred.
Death
But
by pumpkin.
which if I had to go out, I guess that would be the way to go. It would be death by.
There you go, man.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they make it look like he got like decapitated. But I mean, like when we see him like later, his head is like, it's intact unless they attach
Like went on his head,
it.
I guess. But I feel like that's how he would have wanted to go.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I love how this guy too. He's just like, hurry up! I gotta go do some other stuff.
Yeah, they're like already ready to put the dirt back in the grave.
Poor Danny.
Oh, Danny with the race car. It's like so sad this part.
Man.
And then everyone's just legging it out.
This was like a pretty big like graveyard that you guys were in, like filming this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like our big kind of main one that we have in Sydney.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say because it looks pretty massive.
It's super old. It's like perfect for things like this because it's kind of like scary looking because everything's all overgrown and
Yeah.
like, cool looking. It's funny how the main cast just stayed. Everybody else has left.
Everyone
We've all
else,
stand in a semicircle and watch this part.
there you go to going over to comfort him.
Here she comes.
That's pretty cool too. Like that little
Look at
island.
that. It's like, you know, purpose made for us. A cool little spot. And this was my audition scene.
Oh, okay.
So these lines are like embedded in my brain forever.
It's a pretty deep, deep scene, especially and for like an audition, like too talking about like yeah, what happens after you die.
Yeah, it's pretty full on, isn't it? It's actually deeper than I think I realized at the time, too. You know, like looking back on it, it's like a wow.
Yeah.
I just look like a little chipmunk.
The cemetery though, I mean, just like the colors and stuff, like it looks beautiful, like the oranges, the yellows, and you definitely
Mhm.
believe that this is it's fall.
Movie magic.
Oh yeah, I
It
I
looks
don't know if I had mentioned it when we were talking in our interview, but like I got to work as like an extra on what like Adam Sandler's Halloween movie, Hubie
That's
Halloween.
right. Yeah, yeah, you did tell me that.
So I was on there, and like I just remember the one thing that sticks out is just like we were in a graveyard too, ironically, and just like making it look like it was fall because it was middle of summer again, and just like dropping the leaves, and someone had a fan, so it was blowing like the leaves to make it look like they were fall.
Right, right. Stuff like, yeah, stuff like that that's actually when you're watching it is so seamless that you just would never even think that there was a person
Yeah,
blowing leaves, you know, like I love stuff like that. And you
like
just
that
don't
was
even
someone's
think
job.
it's, yeah. Oh, that's
I
great.
love that, and I love that, which I don't think I said before, but I love that both him and his son have like the exact same haircuts.
The exact same haircuts, and I think the grandpa has the haircut as well when we
Oh
see the
yeah,
zombie version.
so it's just
The
like
whole family the whole way down.
this
I
set
love
looks like it was so cool. I know you said like when we were talking like in the interview that it was a pretty big like set overall, right?
Yeah, my memory of it was I just thought it was the best thing ever. Like I don't know if it's one of those things like that if
You're
I
right.
was to go now as an adult it would be smaller maybe, you know, when you do things like that and you go back to places and it's less. But the way that I have it in my memory, it was just the coolest thing
Oh
ever.
yeah,
Ever. It was so cool. And it was really it was all connected like this scene I think that's coming up when we're walking through
yep,
talking about how it came to me in people's book bags and blah blah blah. And then that was like the one kind of shot because that's how that set was made. Like it really did feel like you were inside a house rather than having, some studios it's just the separate rooms.
yeah.
You
That's what
kind
I
of
was gonna say.
this felt really like it was the real thing. It was just like as a kid it was so cool to be in there.
Even like the inside of the house. You know that well, to a degree. Have you ever seen the movie Casper? Like the one back in the 90s with like Christina Ricci and
A long time ago, yeah. As a
that's
kid.
another one that I love, watching. It's always on. Like we have here like in the US we have Freeform and like they've showed that a couple times like on there. But this house sort of like there's definitely like differences, but like it sort of reminds me of like you walk inside and you just have like the staircase that kind of goes like wraps around like that. I
I
myself,
like,
I would love to live in a house like this.
imagine. I think there are like certain elements that make it that perfect haunted house. Like the staircase is definitely one of those things that you've got to have.
Yeah, some of that stuff would be pretty hard to get in lunch bags and and like
I know. I love the thought of that though, of all the kids like working together.
yeah. Now that would be like
It's
thinking
so
back
cool.
as
It's
a kid, that would be so cool to go to like this little secret place that you guys kind of all gathered for Halloween.
just for the kids and they've organized it themselves and they've put it all together. Like that's the kind of thing as a kid that you like love seeing stuff like that. It's like, yeah.
Yeah,
So much more to be scared of.
that another like such a deep line.
That's the line.
So just like overall, now that I'm like saying that, I'm pretty sure I asked you about that, but like you had some pretty deep lines like throughout like the movie, like with that, with talking about like the his like death and like what happens like after you die.
Mm. Yeah, as I said, it's something that just
You don't
it's more
realize.
obviously meaningful as you get older. Like I just didn't was more worried about kind of remembering it and
Yeah.
just delivering it how it had to be and I think as well because of what this film is like, it's sort of come back into my life more recently.
Hmm.
Um, like people like yourself, and I've had a couple of people that have reached out. I've done some interviews and things like that, and that people always bring up like this dialogue, and it's just which is great. But yeah, at the time,
Yeah, you didn't think.
really just wouldn't have thought much about it. You know what I mean? So it's been actually kind of cool to come back to it now and rewatch it and go, yeah, as an adult, and I guess that's what's great about films like this as well, is that the kids are taking out of it something different to what the grown-ups are taking out of it that are also watching. But
That's what for me, that's what makes a really like a great film, because you can watch it at one point in your life, and then you come back to it, watch it later, and then you get something completely different out of it. Or there's maybe even just like little lines or moments where you're like, that happened to me with Scream, and I've seen that movie like 100 times, but there was like a line that popped up and I was just like, I've never picked up on that before. It's just
right.
like that, like you said, like coming back to it and getting like a whole different meaning.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think anything like the best films, even books, anything like that is there's so many layers to it
Yeah,
that it meets you where you're at in life and you're going to get out of it whatever you need to get out of it at that time. I'm a big fan of like going back and rereading the same books or watching the same films at different points and it's the same exact piece of art, but it just means something different depending on what you need it to mean at that time.
yep. That shot's pretty cool too, just like the little fireflies like going back to like the grave.
Yeah,
There'll be plenty of beer, and Cheesy the Clown will be there.
we love Cheesy the Clown. This is great. Danny is so great in this scene when he sees Uncle Fred. This is like he's so great in this scene. A tie. I love that one. Come on, a tie.
I love that. I just like Uncle Fred though. He's just always he's always like been that fun like loving guy, and he was never all about like kind of the business like aspect of things.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, forget that.
This is kind of an important question, guys. We might want to figure this out before we move on.
I know, yeah, we don't get the reveal till later, but that would have been kind of great to see like Uncle Fred giving him a call on like on a phone, and just being like, oh hey, like I'm back at the house.
He just faints.
But Danny's just like, I mean,
Danny's moved into acceptance pretty quick. Like they're hugging now. He's like, okay, I guess I got a zombie Uncle Fred now.
yeah, I was gonna say, oh, this whole scene, this is great too. But I was gonna say like, oh, he did move on pretty quickly, but I feel like at a kid like that age, obviously like your emotional state's definitely like different than if you were like an adult and like something like that happened with like your parents. So I feel like maybe you would almost be like more willing to like accept it's like, oh, like my Uncle Fred's back from the dead. Cool. Like I get to see him again.
And if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Uncle Fred. So Danny's like used to the shenanigans, I guess. He's like, well, are we that
Yeah,
surprised?
this probably isn't the weirdest thing that I've seen Uncle Fred do.
It's like not even the weirdest thing he's done, exactly. I love this part. He's milking it.
Oh yeah, I love his reaction like the most. You're right.
Times beyond this time.
And he just chops off his hand.
So nasty. And everyone's just screaming.
Just throwing around
I
the.
love that throwing the hand. Yeah, it's so good. It's like the best like slapstick moment of the hand comes off, throws it in the back, throws between the kids, everyone's screaming. Like such a
Definitely
great.
reminds me of the Addams family,
Yeah.
like the thing. which is funny because he was in the Adams family
Right,
movies
right,
like
yeah,
12.
that's true. I love how much fun he's just having with it.
Oh yeah, no, you can tell that he had a blast with this role.
Yeah.
No, it's cool too. Is I'm pretty sure, just like trying to read like the license plate, but I'm pretty sure they say in the beginning this takes place like in Minnesota,
Yeah, a Minnesota town is like what they say.
which is cool because I have like family from like out in like Minnesota, so it's kind of
Oh,
cool to
really?
see this like take place. Yeah,
Did you buy it? Like when you were watching, would you have believed this was a Minnesota town?
I do get like the Midwest like vibes. So like that's what we would consider like Minnesota, like that it's in like the Midwest of like the United States. So I do definitely get that small Midwestern town vibes.
Sweet. Well, that's good. Being that it was in Sydney. That's what I wondered, like as an actual American, like I watch it, I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks like in a little American town, but I just wondered as, somebody who would actually know,
Yeah.
you know, if they pulled it off.
I love like his performance in this movie is just so great.
So just didn't leave anything in the tank. He just absolutely went for it.
Yeah.
His wife's outfit as well, I love.
Oh yeah. Like you can totally, you can see it was, it's a film from like the 90s with those like colors, the teal, the purples.
Yeah, I love it. And it's just so like, they both just never grew out of the jock and the cheerleader. They just stayed like that all the way
Yeah.
up to the age.
Actually, speaking of stuff going back, it's like something that I guess I didn't really notice about here, but like that comparison, I didn't think of like those two characters seems like they just never grew out of those like the
Never,
jock and
yeah,
cheerleader.
they're still in that exact state of, when all this happened, they've just kept the same, personality and
Yep.
like that's their living room and they've still got all the sports certificates and stuff up on the wall.
Yep. Yep. There's the grandfather with like the haircut.
Yep. It's
I can
just
just imagine like the father and be like, all right, when he went to go take Ryan to go get his first haircut, he's like, all right, this is how we're gonna do it. It's gonna be a flat top, and
like this.
you're gonna have this for the rest of your life. Yeah, you even have like you have like a sweater on and everything too. Or is that maybe that's part of the scarf?
Layers and layers. Yeah, no, it was like a turtleneck, like a knitted jumper underneath the jacket.
And he's got a sweater. He's got like a shirt on. Man, yeah, I definitely don't envy you guys just because I know like what it's like to film in warm weather and like you have to make it look like it's cold or
So hot. And looking at that, that's reminded me seeing that outfit, the stripy jumper and then the stripy scarf. We had because of like the disembodied hand, we had to have like green screen.
yeah,
So that guy had, like the green sleeve and bodysuit and stuff. And then, of course, as well, because we were recoloring a lot of the trees, I think I told you that they were actually green and we made them like brown.
yep.
So I couldn't have green in my outfit.
Oh,
So the wardrobe department actually like unknitted some of the scarf and some of that jumper to take the green out and then re-knitted it back in so
wow.
that the green stripes, because otherwise, a bit of my belly might disappear or, the color might change depending on the scene. So they had to unknit it and take the green out and then put it back together again.
Wow. Now,
Like that you wouldn't even think of would be a big deal.
no, no. I mean, like, yeah, just like watching it. Now, 'cause I don't think I actually asked you in our interview. Did you like keep anything from this film? Like any of like the wardrobe or anything that you can remember?
I don't think I did,
No.
which is rare for me because I would usually try and like steal something. I don't think I did. I
Yeah,
have, I think I showed you, I have the, I don't know why I have that, but I have the laminated parking sign that says for the director of When Good Ghouls Go Bad. It was his sign that was on his parking spot. So I guess I stole that. I don't know why I have that. It's like the Fox Studios like official sign that was for
you do have
nobody could park there
you do
except
have
Patrick.
something at least.
I stole that. I don't know how that's ended up, but I've kept my original script. I've got like a it's like a big chest that I have in my room with all of my old scripts are still in there,
Yep.
and that's pretty cool. It's all like highlighted and scribbled on, and
Yeah, all your
uh,
lines and stuff.
yeah, it's cool to go back and look at some of those and read back at the script and the amendment pages that come in and changes that were made to the scripts and things like that is always interesting to look back at as well.
Yeah,
So
was there,
I never part with my scripts. I love those.
yeah, no, I don't blame you at all. Was there any was there any like big like major changes that you remember from
I
them taking
I
out?
can have a look. I'll have to go back and have a look and see. Um, I don't know if there was anything that was
Big
major. I know for the stuff that I was filming, there was nothing huge
change.
that was super changed.
Yeah.
But I'll go back and have a look.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
just like little things, and you're like, oh, I always love seeing that kind of stuff, like in
yeah,
the behind scenes kind of stuff for films.
yeah, exactly. And there's always a bit of a just room for things to kind of change on the day as well, especially with some of the physical stuff and the comedy. And you've got somebody like Christopher Lloyd in there. It's
Oh yeah,
things maybe going to just go in different directions anyway on the day.
yeah. I was
You
gonna
know,
say, I imagine he probably had a lot of like improvisation as far as like lines and stuff like that goes. So I'm sure they're probably just like, yep, just like go with that.
yeah, you just never know. I think exactly somebody like Christopher Lloyd who just has such a great brain for comedy and what does and doesn't work. Just seeing him in action. And it's you get there on the day and you're blocking things out in the space and things sometimes change or it's better a different way. This is like this was like my favorite day, this Oktoberfest filming. I remember this whole day just so clearly. It was just such a fun time. It was a very hot day.
Yeah, so
Um,
it looks warm.
yeah.
I love their outfits. The October,
Yeah. So
like
stupid.
God, I totally get the vibes if you were a kid, like just how bored you would be at this thing.
Yep. Just hating it. Oh my gosh, but just seeing him in that cheesy the clown outfit, that's everything. He's so great.
So yeah, okay, yeah, I was gonna say I could like kind of like tell. So the hand when it was detached, it was like completely like CGI, like running
Yeah,
around
so
and
it's
stuff.
like what you're seeing now of the hand walking around, that was like a dude in like a tight like those morph suits?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like one of those, but it was just all green so that he could be
yeah. Hand.
deleted. Just like the gross zombie makeup on that one hand. He
That's
was great. He was very like dexterous little fingers running around, jumping off everything.
that must have just been like so weird. As like I met for like any time, I feel like when you use green screen and you just see this guy in like this suit and he's just walking around moving his hand like in all weird directions.
That's the stuff I love, honestly. Like that's the stuff that I love watching the finished product of a film and when you've been there behind the scenes, it's sort of like as you're watching the final product, you also have this image in the back of your mind of what it really was.
Yeah,
It's just great. Every scene, it's just great to be like, oh, that's how that turned out and that's how that looks because it's not what it looked like, in real life, or it's not how it felt, or
yeah.
yeah, you're remembering things like those leaves that were blowing or whatever it is. You're remembering that guy standing there making that happen, making that look natural. It's great to watch anything that you've worked on come together and see the final product with things like that. Anything, especially like this, that's got heaps of special effects, and it's really cool to see how it all comes together. She's the best.
Their faces.
Who cares?
Be funny or else. And you're just like, what is wrong with you?
Still just not into it.
I wonder if like any of the kids there were like scared of him being like a clown because
Yeah, he's not the best looking clown, is he? Poor Danny. Danny's getting more and more traumatized by the day.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. He gets out this like $100 bill. Just remembered.
I love how you like he doesn't look very dead to me, even though you were just at like his
What?
bribing little children with $100.
Bill, the way he says it.
Yeah, guys.
Even his later hosen say coach.
Oh yeah. He's just always in his uniform.
Always, he's still got his whistle on over the top. So great.
So like I'm one like talking about this like right now. I mean, I guess that was like probably like CGI, but I'm just like picturing this guy jumping out of like this little window, jumping like down. Like, imagine if of all the little kids, I mean, they probably wouldn't have like I guess like comprehended what was going on, but imagine just seeing a clown getting literally all of his limbs like cut off and falling into like a box.
So gross. I love all those stupid lines. I need to leave empty-handed. Popping the band back up. It's such the classic thing as well of like the kids freaking out and the parents having no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
That's in every film as well.
Oh yeah.
The kids are the only ones that get it.
Yep. Putting the moves on your mom.
Yeah, see, it's nice. Like this is what we were saying before of just like another part that as a kid you're like, skip over this bit. Like let's get back to the good stuff. And it's but there's the parts that appeal to different
Yeah.
people at different stages.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I feel like it's definitely one of those films where, like obviously kids can like enjoy it, but like even when you're an adult, there's stuff in there that adults can like enjoy too. Because sometimes it's not fun when you are an adult, like and if you have kids, whatever, and you to watch some movies with kids because it's like definitely
right,
geared more towards the kids.
right.
And it's like, come on.
Something for everyone. And when good ghouls go bad,
Yep.
got it all.
I love the Volkswagen, the orange pumpkin.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty heavy for you guys to like carry back, even if it was like a couple blocks or
Yeah. This shot coming up, we had like a little table under it.
okay.
This with like the green tablecloth over it so it could be
Yeah.
deleted under the ground. So awesome.
That now the zombies, they must have been super hot, like in the
Oh,
prosthetics and stuff.
yeah. As much as I'm complaining about my outfit, at least it wasn't,
You could have been a zombie.
yeah, all like latex and stuff, like it just traps your
Yeah.
heat.
This is a pretty creepy scene.
Yeah, this is great. I love it. I love all the fireflies all the way throughout.
She like has to be like miles per she has to be going like over 100 miles an hour. Trick or treat.
Amazing.
So you guys, yeah, like this scene, this was like one of the scenes I was like ask you about. It's like putting together Uncle Fred. So you just had all these like, so was he just like green screened and then just like had these like fake like body parts that you were? I'm assuming he just had his arms like inside like the shirt or something.
Yeah, it was kind of like stop start. So you like put the fake one on and then stop and then start again and have his arm so he could like wiggle his fingers and make it look.
That it's like attached again.
Yeah. For you. I can't believe it's taken them this long to go and check what that sculpture is.
Yeah, I'm
You know, I can't
just like
believe they went.
surprised that no one ever got curious enough to at least like take like a little peek.
Back. Yeah. I love this scene so
Do you think these would help?
much.
I love that he like because he knows obviously what's like what's going on. Well, at least to some degree, because obviously he wasn't counting on like zombies and stuff. But I love that he just like buys into it as far as the
Yeah.
he's
It's like
being so freaked out.
he believes his own lie. He's gone with it so much.
Yeah,
Except there are some items missing from the premises, such as Curtis Tango's art project. Curtis isn't gonna like that, Ed. He's not gonna like that. Oh, I figured that one out for myself. Mainly on the power of the fact that the other missing item is Curtis Tango. His body, not exactly. The fingerprints and the footprints, and they're leading away from the crypt. It's not there somewhere, Ed. Looking for that. Yes. Burn the eyes out my head.
oh man,
This is like one of the best scenes. They're just having so much fun.
oh yeah. He's like, nah, I'm gonna get out of here. Poor cop.
Too good.
Now, I want to know how they got that statue like up there, because that would have been pretty heavy, because it's like a,
Stairs and everything.
I mean, it at least looks like it was like a clay or like something. So I would think that'd be pretty heavy to get up those flight of stairs.
I'm not even puffed. Interesting option package.
I love the screwing his legs like in with like the screw gun.
Gross. The sound of it is so gross.
1 minute you're alive, and the next minute you're dead. The next minute
You're alive again.
and all of suffers arms and legs and screw guns and zombies. It's okay, we're safe. I don't know. You're a zombie. How did this happen? Remember all those
A great speech as well.
when it started to turn cold, they just didn't come back.
Mm.
What do you
Yeah, this is great. Like he's talking about the firefly smudgy stuff.
Yeah. Do you guys have fireflies out there?
We do. There's like certain rainforests that you can go to where they have fireflies, but they're not like they're not everywhere.
Oh,
I've
okay.
seen them once. I went to a place once when I was little and it was like a rainforest walk that you could do, and there was a place where there was fireflies.
See, like
They look
here, they're pretty common, at least like so,
really.
here in New Hampshire in the summer, yeah, especially like the summertime, anywhere that's like kind of wooded areas, you can usually see them,
Really?
lighting up at nighttime.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're not common here at all. It's like, I guess what makes them seem like even more magical and
Yep.
Halloween, I guess, because
Yeah, I was curious if you guys
Good.
had them.
especially if you had help.
Wow, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, I know the summertime, spring, summertime, you can definitely see them. Usually, like if you're out at nighttime, just at least around this area. I mean, I don't know if it's like that the whole, like country, but at least like around here is a pretty good shot. You'll see some like fireflies like floating around.
Oh,
Yep.
that's cool. That is very cool.
Some pretty creepy zombies too.
I know, they're so awesome.
That almost looked like right here where they're all like walking towards like the town hall. Like it almost looked like a painting.
Mm. Yeah, the coloring's great. They're like twilight kind of.
Halloween decorations, and if it's the living dead, I'm gonna have to go for being afraid.
I'm gonna have to go for being afraid.
One of that guy's just this little
I
moment.
love that guy.
And it looks like I win. I mean that would be pretty terrifying, like being at a town hall and just like a bunch of zombies just like show up and
Absolutely.
Decorations back up. That's a very interesting story. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, interesting.
Yeah. People really love Halloween, like we'll say Uncle Fred, for example. They had Halloween issues.
This film is speaking to me right now, being a Halloween lover. So I guess when it's my time to go, I'll come back and I'll be just a zombie and just hang around.
Yeah, why not? Be careful of your limbs.
Yeah, I can't. I love that they're putting up Halloween decorations.
Yeah, I think that's the worst thing they're doing. They want the statue.
Hey, I've seen enough horror movies. There could be worse things that zombies can want instead of a statue.
Sure.
Exactly. Once Curtis is in his crypt, we slam the door locked with a chain, and he can sit in there screaming and stomping all he likes. But he'll be trapped long enough. Long enough for what? He'll get down the block, squish all those fireflies and rub it, blowing stuff all over himself. Oh, it will eventually fade and die. Okay. Okay. We have to get out of here. We have to run. Run. I can't even walk. You guys.
Yeah, because I think I like might have missed it, but like didn't they put his like one of his legs on, or like both of like the legs on like the opposite sides? I think.
The legs were on the wrong side. He goes, "Why are my shoes on the wrong feet?" I love this part. He tries to talk to the zombies.
We have other
Plans for you.
We don't want to eat their brains.
They're just like nice zombies.
Yeah.
Such great timing in this scene.
I love this right here where he goes over to the copying machine. What are you doing?
I love this whole time. The sheriff has been like the least calm out of everybody. He's been like the most dramatic.
Right. Yeah, I love his reaction where he's just like, these zombies aren't gonna take me. I'm just gonna run through. Forget the rest of the town. Well, everyone else, good luck.
Everybody else, every man for himself.
They just take the whole copying machine.
Entire copy machine.
So that must have been pretty. Like, did you guys like? Was it? Did you guys actually film like at night for like these scenes in like the cemetery and stuff?
No, it was not as dark as this. I don't know if it was like afternoon, but
Oh,
it was kind of like recolored afterwards to make it darker.
I was gonna say that would have been pretty fun to like go through like the graveyard like all at nighttime and
Yeah, it's such a cool setting. Like that whole area is so cool. And my grandson, Danny Walker. Yeah, no, this stuff was all daylight. So it's all been recolored to have that dark, like blue kind of effect.
purple. Yeah, because I imagine that it would probably be kind of like a hazard, like having you guys like run through like
Mm.
the graveyard at like nighttime. Otherwise, it'd have to have like a good amount of lighting.
Yeah, it was all sort of redone afterwards, like filtered, I guess.
Some pretty creepy masks.
Party's bumping.
Yep.
Soon enough, or not, depending on how much money you got in your First, it's a lot. When you stole a statue, you woke up and made mad. Now it's
I love his like scheme of like, you guys are gonna pay me money so you don't have to see the statue.
Yeah, pay to not see it. Oh my gosh, I forget this part. Oh yeah,
Yep.
just remembered.
No, that's like actually pretty creepy.
That's one of the worst moments of this film, I reckon. Out of all the scary stuff that happens, ripping the zombie's face off is the grossest.
But yeah, I mean, you were like, yeah, you were right there. So did you get to see them actually like that happen, like the zombie's face getting ripped off?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing was like a animatronic, I guess you'll call it.
And what about Curtis Danko? Because like obviously like the fireflies and stuff, those are like CGI. Was
Yeah.
he like a animatronic or like a puppet of
Yeah,
like yeah
like a I guess it's called like a practical effect rather than like a
yeah
computer effect. So he was made like a I guess animatronic is the word, like a puppet kind of,
yeah
so that he could move and I love it because it gives him that weird movement, like
yeah?
the quality of like how his head turns and stuff because it's robotic. It's kind of makes it more eerie.
What about like this scene like right here where you guys are like going through the floor? How did do you
But
remember
that
like
part wasn't us. Like the part where you look from the bottom and you can see it coming down. I don't know who was in there, stunt guys maybe, but not us. We had like it was a built-in kind of platform that lowered down
okay
slowly. So we were filming from the top, sinking down,
yeah
like screaming, but it didn't go all the way down.
yeah so they
You know
must
what I
have
mean?
some, like stunt
Cut
doubles
between.
coming
Yeah. And it was only moving slowly, you know. Just
yeah
had to like act scared. Oh, the big reveal, all this stuff is so great.
yeah you're just like you're what like what's the statue gonna look like, you know, they made it to be this big disturbing thing.
Yeah, burn everybody's eyeballs out of their head. See, this like I love the way he walks down the steps. So
Yeah, his like you said his movements are just it
yeah,
just gives like an extra like creepiness to him.
it works. Yeah, I love the mom with the skeleton. I'm gonna die and I'm not gonna get reelected.
Just faints again.
I like that he's different from the other zombies.
Yeah,
He's got his own thing going on and he's really like recognizable that that's who he is. He's still got his Curtis Danko hair.
yeah. I was gonna say I love that,
It
you know,
burnt off. The
that
rest
he
of him
just
did.
like still has all his hair.
Yeah.
It hasn't like disappeared or I always sort of liked you.
How embarrassing. Yeah. Brian, oh my god. Yeah, you coward.
I fell victim to a compelling urban legend. Hey, I probably would have too.
Can't blame him.
Knocks his head off with the football.
Oh, this is the point where everybody just hates this guy.
Uh,
Like, come on, dude.
I just like
Like,
imagine
they
them.
put the whole outfit on to be able to do that as well.
Yeah, I just like imagine them telling him like for the scene, all right, so you're gonna come in, you're just gonna run in with this, this football uniform on, you just start stomping your feet.
Just go for it. I don't think so. I love this part.
Not. Nope.
King of the world. Meanwhile,
Bum, bum. I mean, like if it was actually something where their eyes could have burned out, I mean, they could have just like closed their eyes and like tried to find their way. But that's fine.
but hey,
Such a cool statue, though.
it's great actually, isn't it? I don't understand.
Yep.
Yep, pretty much.
Now you've just become the biggest jerk of the town.
Don't think you're gonna become mayor anymore. It's such a beautiful moment as well.
Oh yeah, because I mean he thought that he was responsible for like his death like this whole time, and
For Uncle Fred to realize. Oh,
he's like, nope.
the finger that just comes up.
He's like, yeah, you're gonna tell the story.
It's just a prank.
Kind of, I mean, like, yeah, it was a prank, but it's kind of messed up that they like chased the kid into like a kiln.
Seriously, like, and then just leave him in there.
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, as like, I mean, I guess as kids, you can, they probably didn't know the guy was gonna like turn it on, but it's like you just like leave a kid in that thing. Like he was like obviously he was like locked in.
See that I was wrong all along about. So you were cursed in the ashes. You came out pretending that your eyes were burning. You convinced everyone that Curtis was pure evil, and you
What's kind of
for 20 years.
what's kind of like weird, like thinking about that is like he went into like the kiln and just like no one like said anything. He just like went in there and then like he comes out like
Ah! He's in there for ages. He's in there long enough to write the message in the ashes and everything.
yeah.
Real generous when it came to parts and crafts and drama and all the other sissy stuff. But asking for money for, say, the football world theme park and RV campground, like my dad wanted to build, where real men would think they're real.
Where real men. God.
Talk snacks and have our
Which makes it so problematic. Look at his face is just going more red.
Daddy grabs him by the ear.
He does still have the same haircut. I love that.
he kind of like out of all the zombies, like he kind of looked sort of like Curtis Danko. Like he had like a little bit more
Yeah.
meat on him, but you're all just oh, I'll say they're all clapping. Yeah, he took him away.
Get rid of that guy.
They're all just still kind of like ah.
Everyone's in shock. Now we get to have the nice feel good moment.
Yep.
Everybody realizes what's important in life.
Zombies just walking out of there.
Just
This
love
was
to see them.
another nice moment too. The grandmother and
This tugs at the heartstrings, this bit. I love this part.
yeah,
Hello, boys. She's so cute. I
yeah.
love her.
It's that classic grandma.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, I love that she's just like covered with the skeleton.
She's just stayed there the whole time, watching it all.
Yeah, I love that. Mr. Walker gets this moment with like his with his dad and I guess
Yeah, it's
things up.
beautiful this part.
That eyeball. 327 pictures of the old office that should have taken a long time.
Aww.
Right in the feels.
Right in the feels. But like, I love that this movie is doing this 30 seconds after we just had Coach Cankle jumping on the zombie body and you know what I mean? Like something so outrageous and ridiculous and the zombie face being pulled off was not that long ago and now we're here in this beautiful like heartfelt moment that we still buy as well.
Yeah.
Like this film just manages to do that so well.
Yeah, and that's I mean it's definitely not like an easy thing to pull off going from like one extreme to, like kind of the next.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really it's got everything in there, but it times it all so well.
There you guys are.
Yeah. Not my favorite day of filming. The
No.
first,
Would you,
not excited for this part.
would you ever see yourself?
Yeah, this was shot in the day as well.
It was, so they just color graded it.
Yeah, this whole thing it was daytime.
That's interesting. So there wasn't really any nighttime like shoots then it seems like.
I don't remember ever shooting at night. Kind of like the look of this though, with the that bluey purple kind of.
The fog.
Yeah, it's all moody. No. It's pretty cool with zombies dancing all around though.
Little car.
All too much to worry about.
Oh, it's like emotional, this bit.
There's Curtis going back to sleep.
Yeah, bye, buddy.
Even got the moon up there and everything.
Yeah. I mean, 20 years ago, like, this is pretty impressive, I feel like.
I can't believe. I mean,
Oh,
I know you can't, but like, I can't believe this was 20 years ago.
I actually do feel like it's kind of aged well. You know, like it is a bit of a time capsule of filmmaking at that time, and like it is kind of specific to that time, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of what gives it the nostalgia as well.
Oh yeah.
Like it's still so watchable. How should it?
Give me something.
Give me something good to eat.
Your look on your face.
Like what the hell?
What's that? They put on an even bigger spectacular next year, huh?
But how are you gonna get all the zombies to come back again?
Yeah.
7 a.m. bright and early. To me, 2 weeks from now. Well, the space food sticks aren't gonna last forever.
There you go. You learned your lesson, Mr. Walker.
It took a whole town full of zombies to teach you, but
Yeah. We won't talk about that. Oh man. Their relationship.
do you know what? That could have been the sequel.
Yeah.
Those two. And, given them their own spin-off. That would have been funny. Happy Halloween.
I like that little moment too.
Yeah. He's like the grandpa of Halloween.
Fred is finally recognized.
Yeah. Oh, it's got the feels at the end there.
Yeah. You know, it has everything in there. You know, it
Does, doesn't it?
has, you know, it has the you know, the comedy obviously like throughout it. It has I mean there is like some parts that are like, especially being like a kid, that are, you know, pretty like creepy, has like that creepy like Halloween atmosphere. But then, you know, by the end of the movie you have, I mean, even throughout the film too, you have those like heartfelt moments. So
Yeah. That's what's so good about it. And I don't think it ever goes too far in any direction either. Like the creepy stuff is kind of just enough and
yeah,
it's so finely balanced. I think
I
that's what makes
can't believe, like I said, I can't believe it's been, yeah, 20 years. It's
yeah.
like, you know, like yeah,
Old.
no, like the point, like the other was it last week, a week before, I saw, I don't know if you ever watched like Hey Arnold, like growing
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
So
I did.
that just turned, I think, 25. Like that premiered like 25 years ago. And I was just like, me and like my buddy who were like, you know, love the show, we're just like, holy crap.
Yeah, talk about feel old yet. Some of that stuff is just like it doesn't feel that long ago. It does feel long ago, but then when you say 20, 25 years, you just think like, what?
Yeah, you're like, wow.
I wouldn't believe it.
But yeah, I mean, you know, and I'm happy for you too, that because like you said, I know like you, for a while you didn't like really revisit this film, and you really just like the past like couple of years have come back and had a chance to like watch it. Because I can imagine, and I feel like we brought this up like in the interview, but I can imagine sometimes, because I know, like, you know, when I edit myself for like for YouTube and stuff like that, and I have to watch the videos, I've gotten better with it, but I definitely still like hate like watching or like listening to myself speak. So I can imagine watching like a movie that you're in can be kind of
Yeah.
weird like sometimes too, especially like when you were a kid or something like that. Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, I like watching when it first, the first time you see it, as I said, I always have all of that, the behind the scenes kind of stuff in my mind, and I'm watching kind of the overall picture
Yeah.
and sort of trying not to watch myself too much because that's always the part that you hate the most. You're just never going to be happy with something 100% or think that, you did the best that you could have done or you look the best or whatever. But yeah, so I always like to watch things that I've done for that reason, but then I don't normally rewatch or, once I see how it's come together, what it all looks like and
That
awesome, and then I leave it and that's it. I don't need to, think about it again. But and this one especially being so long ago, I don't really think about it. But yeah, that's what we were saying in the interview. Is just the last couple of years, it's really started to come up and actually, I've been asked to do a commentary before, and I've said no because I also worry. Woo, go fast. I worry that I don't remember enough stuff. Like
yeah.
even when people started asking, people like yourself, I've done a few interviews now, and I always feel a bit nervous for this one because it was a long time ago,
Yeah.
and I just like I don't want to misremember anything, or
Yeah.
people ask me questions, and it takes me a while to be like, yeah, what was that like, or I just don't want to like misrepresent it or you know. And I thought
No, that
when you brought it up, I was like, oh, why not? We'll just watch it and see what happens. I've already interviewed with you. I trust you to not worry too much. But yeah,
yeah.
I have been asked before, so
Well,
I
hey,
just
I appreciate it. I feel honored, Brittany. Thank you for I'm
you're
glad.
well. You're welcome. And it was, I sort of was like, oh, now that people are starting to, ask and want interviews and things like that, I thought I better come back and, really watch the film.
Yeah.
And I hadn't for literally for 20 years. And I was pleasantly surprised at, how well it's aged, and
That's a
talking to people like yourself who love the film, I can see why. And I can see why it was, a great part of people's childhoods and things like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy to be part of it and to get to do things like this, you know.
yeah. And thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you again. I know, if you guys, for some reason, if this is like your first time, again, I've had Brittany like on the channel before. We did an interview last year. So, ask her some other like questions about the film as well. So I will, once this is up, I will make sure to put the link to that below. So that way you guys can like check that out as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that this would just be, a lot of fun it's been a movie for me that I saw it when I was a kid. It's been a part of my uh, every year when I go through like my list of movies. Like this is always one of those films, along with like Hocus Pocus and stuff like that. That it's always one of those that I have to watch because it just really gets me in that Halloween spirit. So I hope all of you guys out there, I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I thought it would be a really fun treat, and thank you again, Brittany, for taking time out of your schedule to come on and do this.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me. And that's it. If, people are going to rewatch it every year or something, this might just be something fun, a fun different way to do it. I love hearing people say that it's up there with Hocus Pocus for them for their annual Halloween movie. I just think that's so cool. So I'm happy to be here and yeah, do something fun. That was really good.
And you never know. I mean, they do they're doing like a Hocus Pocus 2. You
You
never
never
know.
know.
Maybe there'll be a when Good Ghouls Go Bad remake or some kind of
Yeah,
like sequel or
we'll go
something
bad
like that.
again.
When Good Ghouls Go Bad again. There you go.
I'd be down. I
Yeah.
would be down.
That would
Yeah.
be really cool to actually like if they went ahead and like did that idea, and if like came back as like an older like version of like your character, because I think for Hocus
Mm.
Pocus 2, I'm pretty sure that I saw like today that the girl Thora Birch who played Danny in the film, um,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure she confirmed that she's like coming back, so she's gonna obviously
Have
play like an
fun.
older version of
That's
that character.
awesome.
So, but yeah, thank you
Cool.
again, Brittany. That's it was a lot of fun.
Oh,
Appreciate you coming on.
no, it was fun. Thank you for having me. It was awesome.